Hey!
What's up? Hello. How's it going?
Now. There we are. Oh, look, but you can kind of see.
Right here. We could go right here.
There we go.
Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
I'm good. Are you asking me?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thanks. We were going to go live yesterday.
Me too.
So, our typical night to go live. Are we getting out? Can you hear us? I hope you can hear us. But our typical night to go live is on Tuesdays. We had like a little bit of we were trying to figure out getting back on a schedule because San Diego Comic-Con just kind of threw things a little bit. But we were flying back home on Tuesday. So
we gotta say hello to everybody.
Oh, sorry.
Nate, Brent, Grant, Patrick, Danny,
Cal. Drink the movies. Oh my God, did you see the
Katrin, Sin City? I said it more of as a one word. Thank you all for showing up and coming to hang out.
Thank you for being here today. Things are
got a little.
We've got some minor updates. You can only see one of them
for now.
But yeah, so we were supposed to go live Tuesday. We were traveling, and then yesterday there we go. And then yesterday we Thank the Maker was going live at the same time, and we're like, we don't want to compete with that. And
that's like sweeps. Like you don't want to go against the big dogs,
right? And then also I was a little sleepy. We flew in super late Tuesday night, and then our flight got delayed an hour, so it was like super.
The weather was
late.
Crazy. Like out of nowhere,
yeah. Yeah, there was like a really bad storm on our way to the airport, and we were like, uh-oh. We were on the last flight out for the night, and that was what happened is they delayed our flight because another flight got delayed that was supposed to
come in.
We were a connecting flight for like 20 people, but yeah, it was a whole thing. So we ended up not taking off from Orlando until like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
It was late. It was super late.
Late getting home.
So yeah, took the day off yesterday from travel work too, just to try to catch up on everything. But we're caught up now. We're ready. And then like we said, we've had some changes here. So probably doesn't make any difference to the people watching, but we are now staring at this massive screen that we actually used to use back in the day.
Well, and I think this is, okay, so just to kind of like full circle this.
Okay.
We were supposed to have an update to the set on our quote unquote season 2.
Yes.
That didn't happen. Life happens and we just kind of rolled with it. So this void is still a void.
Yeah.
But now it's become like kind of like, oh, that's our void.
We love that void.
But no, so then we're thinking, okay, coming up, we're getting on year 3. That's pretty crazy to start thinking about.
Yeah.
But we do the podcast and we do our lives. And with our lives, I want it to feel a little bit more casual.
Oh, you're telling the full story.
Yeah, I'm telling the full story. Okay. We're just going into it. I want it to feel a little bit more casual. And let me see, turn this. And the thing is we have some space, kind of. Just had to clean up because I had my 3D printer in that corner and like all the table and everything. So if I move it, it gives us space. So I'm hoping that we could have like almost 2 sets. One for podcast, kind of us sitting up professional, and then a more casual, couchy type vibe for our lives. I'm saying it now because I want to like just see if we can, but we will see, right? Yeah. Life can happen, and we've got trips all year, so we'll see. But that's the plan. But because I got this helmet, I decided it was time to start cleaning because we need to find, like, there's helmets all over the house now.
There's a significant amount of overflow outside of this room where the helmets were supposed to stay. We've started decorating the main parts of the house now with helmets because there's just nowhere else for them to go.
I'm trying to figure out a place to put them. Man, I had some really good ideas. Like, I think it was Nate was telling me that I could put like helmets on this corner.
That would be cool.
So like maybe I could get like all the trooper helmets, like all the white ones,
the
to
only
just
problem,
like fill it.
though, I mean, we could do that. We could absolutely do that. Oh, you can't see it.
Oh.
Show the void. So we could do that.
So imagine helmets just like.
I mean, that would look pretty cool. The only problem is like, this is a fake wall. Like, these are all fake walls. But, like, this one is an especially fake wall. Like, it's just a very thin piece of, like, melamine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we sometimes have to take it off to access things
Yeah.
back behind.
So, yeah, we had to figure something out. But, yeah, I mean, we're starting to work. But, yeah, and behind, there's a lot of shifting because there used to be computers here. So
Yeah,
I think maybe
used
like
to be like on the other side of this table.
just like that spring cleaning came late. So now it's
August, bro.
Yeah, we're getting into that spring cleaning, but making some room. But now you're in that once you buy cords that are long enough to a certain setup, you have to go buy new cords for a different setup.
Yeah.
So that's like right now I'm just like making an inventory of how many HDMI cords I need or how many USB cords I need.
There you go. Honda says just buy a new house for the helmets. Just for the helmets.
It might happen. Mark.
Don't ruin the movie magic. Well, the other thing is like we got a Costco membership. We're Costco people now. And so we were like, well, let's go to Costco because when we walked through the first time we went, they had really good deals on like TVs and monitors. So we're like, let's just go pick up a couple monitors because we lost the monitors we used to have. But that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So now we're back to this like massive TV. It's not massive. It's like what, 40 inches?
Yeah.
But it's like really old. It's really heavy.
It's an old TV.
It's like really heavy. I think this thing is like 15 years old. So it's incredibly heavy. But this is what we were using as our monitor before.
Mark. We were looking for basically gear for the set. So
Yeah, just gear.
you could get Lego. I saw Lego there.
They did have Lego. And
Pokemon
more
cards.
pho. I'm obsessed now with the Costco pho. It's so good. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that's like, oh my God, let me tell you all the things I got at Costco. But that pho is really good. But yeah, so that's another helmet came in. Do you want to tell the story of how you were actually here to receive this helmet?
So it's funny because every time that I get again, I've said this before, I pre-ordered my helmets from Hasbro.
Yep.
And I have not expanded into the movie accurate ones and like refinishing them and getting the molds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been content with the Hasbro, just collecting the one that they put out, and I'll pre-order them. And it just happens to be every time that we are on a trip, it shows up to the house.
Which, to be fair, is often. Like, we do travel a good amount.
It's fairly often. But our neighbors, we have a great neighbor that ends up, picking it up for us. But I was just like, I never get to pick up, get to open the door and see my helmet there. It always has to be given to me by a neighbor. So it's one of those, like, I was so glad that I was finally here to like the surprise, like the Christmas morning surprise.
We left on Friday to go to Disney World, and as I think we were at the airport, we got the shipping notification from
and I was
Hasbro.
like, son of a... like, it's going to show up.
Like, every time. But it showed up on Wednesday, so we're all good. You need to catch up a bit?
Yeah, we'll catch up a little bit. So we're talking about Ahsoka. Yeah, we're excited for Ahsoka.
Yes, very much excited for Ahsoka. I think they were asking
I think that, Brent, that was the reason why I popped into Dano's, was that it was that late.
Yeah.
We were still up.
It was really late.
Because I don't go to sleep until I'm tired. And once I'm tired, I am out. So...
very quickly out.
Yeah. So it's not like a wind down. It's just more of like a burn all my energy and then I'll go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a wind down person. You're like, I'm this, and you're like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Star Cruiser.
I will not be. Oh, Dano's here. Hello. I will not be staying up to watch Ahsoka when it.
Oh, Mark, that would be cool doing Ezra. See, this is where it's like so it was really cool because I had like all the clone trooper helmets there, but it was cool because like Ahsoka was like
Was it?
this one was in the front of it and the other two were behind it, so it just kind of like had this like cool effect just by accident.
Like bowling pins.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, like it would be really nice to have a couple of them. So, but it was funny because you asked me the other day if the prototype Boba, like if I had that one because
Dano posted about
it went on sale.
Yeah,
which I do have that one.
I was like, oh my gosh, you have it in arm's reach.
That one's here.
Is there one under my seat? Is this like
Yeah.
Oprah? What do I have? No.
But
This is
what they're starting to do, and I don't know if it's Entertainment Earth that like bought a whole bunch of inventory and held on to it, or if it's Hasbro, because I think during San Diego they released the Captain Cardinal one, which is a red trooper helmet.
Wasn't that the one you wanted?
No, I have that one.
Oh.
But then Entertainment Earth released the prototype Boba, and I think they're releasing. There was another one that they're releasing, an old one. But I was just like, I thought it was interesting that they're basically re-releasing older ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's hope for like what is it? There's like 2 that you don't have, 3.
Well, they were Amazon exclusive and
look,
GameStop exclusive.
Honda's
So
gonna know. New Stormtrooper, old Stormtrooper.
yeah, that's what the old Stormtrooper.
Oh, Grant's leaving. Good night, Grant. Have a good day at school. The Rogue One TK. Wait, but you have all of these ones?
The 2 that I don't have is the GameStop Shadow Trooper
Okay.
and the. Oh wait, no. I think
I know
it was a GameStop
exclusive.
Incinerator and then Amazon Shadow Trooper. That's what it was. But there were 2 exclusives that at the time I wasn't.
You weren't actively
Yeah.
collecting. You didn't realize the problem that this was going to be at the time.
Yeah.
Because even then we were in Batu the other day, and you're like, look at this helmet.
Well, that was we were in Batu and there was a Stormtrooper helmet, which typically it's the front, it's the half helmet.
Yeah.
But they have a full helmet.
Like a kid's costume type helmet.
I think it's a little bit better than a kid's costume, but not to the quality of the Hasbro one, the Black Series.
Right.
Because it actually has like the clamshell thing to it. So I was like, I was intrigued that they actually came out with a full helmet, but to not the quality of at least the Black Series. And they sell the Black Series there. So like, why not have
They had a ton of
whole bunch of
on
them. So
shelves too.
yeah.
The clamshell ones.
So I don't know, like if it's a cheaper price than the normal one, because again, that one could be one that you just like have a whole bunch and you do the mods too. But then again, it's first order. So
yeah. We got a lot of new people in the chat. We got Dano showed up, Gaylin showed up, TJ's here, Justin is here. Gaylin got a 2-hour massage. I want that.
TJ got a new helmet.
Very nice. Was in downtown. Oh, Brent was in downtown Disney with Jason and Julie. Yeah, and they had Black Series there too.
It's hard, Cal.
Here's the thing, like we never collected like Funko Pops because we didn't want to go down the path of collecting. But in hindsight, those are much smaller than these helmets are.
Well, I think the thing is we didn't think that we're going to be coming out as frequent as they have.
Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be like, yeah.
And it was very interesting the way they did it, because they did some of the, like the troopers, so you're like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But then they went on this Mando kick.
Yeah.
And so they just like, I didn't have any Mando helmets, and then I had just a ton of them.
5.
So I thought that was interesting that they went that route. Now, and this, with the painting it, I think I want to go more obscure, because I have like the deepest feeling that all they could do, like they could basically just take the Phase 2 helmets and just give it a different theme, like just paint it different. Like it's that easy. And I wish they would, just because you could just, again,
you buy it and it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Because you're not paying any more for the paint job on the Black Series.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul's here too. Austin's here.
Oh, Justin, I saw Ahsoka.
Is the Proto Boba and the Death Watch the same?
The proto one.
Is it the same mold?
The proto one, I think, is the one that's different.
Do you want me to go grab it?
Because it doesn't have the dent.
Oh.
But it does. If you look at the bottom of it, that's the regular one. Because you could see that there's the texture for weathering. And then I think the Death Watch one as well. I think that's the flat one. Wait, that was a question.
That
right?
was the question.
Yeah, so I think they are the same. Because there's no dent.
Matthew Burge is asking, have you tried 3D printing your own helmets? Not for you.
Yeah, not for me. I think my printer, it might be big enough for maybe some of the smaller helmets to do one pieces. Like
Those are so scary.
yeah, but yeah, they're like scary because they're such long prints.
But yes, you did print our Sons of Mando helmet. Which turned out really good.
Yeah.
It's just little. Smaller. Ooh, good question. What should the next Black Series helmet be?
I'm trying to think. That is a good question.
Another boba.
I think it would be cool to have, actually, Sabine's biker helmet.
Justin, like what Justin made?
Justin printed the biker helmet, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's a different. It'll be a different mold, different helmet together or all together, but it's kind of like the X-wing pilot, but it's just totally different. So it's not something that we've kind of seen.
Yeah.
So that I think that would be cool because like the biker scout, like that was really cool because it was just different from the other ones. I think they could do the shore troopers. That would be a cool one.
Ooh, that would be good.
That I think that's one of my favorite. Just like it took what it felt because I remember growing up, the scout trooper was like one of my favorite ones because it was different.
Yeah.
And then that shore trooper, when I saw that, it felt like a scout trooper, like seeing a scout trooper, like it was just that different. It didn't have full armor, and it was more that like earth tone, that tan. It was super cool. So
I like Drink the Movies ideas. We need a quarter scale helmet, like those little baseball helmets you used to get ice cream in.
they did have those.
Not for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Did they?
Remember, I had started getting a couple of those.
No, that's.
Oh, you're talking about
football.
like the.
Like that size.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
okay.
Like we have some football ones that you got signed, and that was going to be our thing. Was like get a bunch of those when we were more into football. Because we're like oh my god, that was the conversation. Was like we don't want a bunch of helmets. Talk about full circle. And now we're overrun with helmets. We have to figure out.
Oh, that'll be cool, Paul.
So this is what we need help with. We need some way to display your helmets because you have a lot of them and they're really, really good. Like you've a lot.
I'm gonna wait for our Star Wars replicas because he's redoing his room.
Is he?
Yeah, so I want to see what he does, and I'll just take his
can
idea.
You,
Send me the links.
send the leftovers. Send what you got rid of.
But yeah, I mean, right now it's like just that. Let's figure out where to put all this stuff because I would like them more in one area than all over the place.
Yeah, that would be nice. Here is a off the wall question. Have you ever noticed they always have the same clothes on in the movies, or do you think they wash them? So that's a funny question because there was a comment in one of the Star Cruiser groups about don't worry about changing your costume on Star Cruiser because like Han Solo's always wearing his outfit. I thought that was funny.
How many helmets do I have?
For the next live, I will try on all of your helmets at the same time.
Oh, at
It'll
the
be
same
like, dum,
no.
dum, dum, dum. No, it's too many. We'll
I have
get
a
back
good,
to
yeah.
you.
I'd
We can't even see
I have
all
all
right
the
now.
all the Black Series except for 2. So, however many they have. I wish they would have like that sheet, like the like in the old, like the toys, like the series.
And you could like check off.
Like,
which ones
okay, I
you
got this one. I got this one.
Detolf. Is that the one that's glass on all three or all four sides? Yeah, Bourbon and Buckets has a great display too. And I think his display is pretty similar to what Star Wars Replicas has. Oh, Patrick wasn't calling you. Was it you that was the one that commented or put that post out there? Because I was like, huh. Yeah, so we had the all glass one.
But again,
when you had 3 helmets.
Yeah. We have one. We have one stand when it
Okay, Hondo's saying that there are 24 helmets. So we have
22.
23.
Well,
how many duplicates have you bought, Steven?
I've got two duplicates.
What's the other one?
The Mosh one.
Oh, yeah.
So I have the Mosh one, and then I have the clone.
So we have 24 helmets. Don't
I was
put a taller amount.
I got a Dano's rock and one to stock type of thinking. So
should we show them what's on the floor right now?
So about Universal.
Nice segue. Really quickly, before we get into Universal, because I haven't been drinking much of mine because we have been talking about your helmet collection, not obsession. Hondo, BRB buying stock in Hasbro. Variants. But, so, and we'll talk about this a little more in a bit. I need to use a coaster. But we are contributors to the Together as One 5K for Star Cruiser, and our contribution specifically as Princess and Scoundrel was so off the wall. To me, it was so random, but Marissa, the one that's organizing it, came up with the idea. It was Betty Bantha's blue milk recipe. So made a little recipe card. If you are getting the physical, if you got in on the first like 275, then you're getting a printed copy of it, and then if not, the digital option is out there. But anyway, they're doing a virtual Cheers, a Tabuite this Sunday. So the recipe is now out there. It lives. So you can make your own blue milk, and we can all have a toast together. So we made our blue milk today. So yeah, it's delicious. But
I would say it doesn't taste like the blue milk on Batu.
No.
So maybe it's a Mas Espa blue milk.
Yeah. It's regional. The other thing is we didn't have watermelon. I forgot to add watermelon to my cart today.
Rum.
Yeah, Bob. There's rum and there was rum in yours earlier. That one doesn't have
my test glass.
Yeah. Heroes is here. Yeah, lots of fun people in here today. But yeah, so Galen says, how does it taste compared to Star Cruisers? So I think the pineapple that I was using was larger too, because it's got a lot of pineapple taste to it. And then I didn't have the watermelon to kind of counteract it. But it's good. It's like a nice, very like slightly tropical.
This one tastes more, or there's less milky taste. Mm-hmm. Right? There's more passion fruit and like fruit taste. Dragon fruit, yeah. There's more of that and not so much the milky taste.
Yeah. It is more flavorful. And even for the recipe that I put out there, I even upped the milk, which is not real milk. It's rice milk. But I upped the milk because I was like, I don't want it to be too powerful, but it's still pretty.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I enjoy drinking it. And then I froze.
I think the hardest thing is the dragon fruit stuff. Just like
it's
melting it, and like that's the more time consuming thing.
But it's so pretty when you open your fridge and you've got this like bright pink syrup. Yeah, so we've got that. We did that. We have consumed plenty of blue milk this week. But I have a confession. Well, I know we're going to talk Star Cruiser in a bit. I have a confession. I don't like the blue milk on Star Cruiser.
Compared to
The milk stand blue
Yeah.
milk. So the
because I
milk
think that's
stand-
where we figured out like on the milk stand it's like frozen.
Yes. So it's more of like a slushy consistency. It's the same recipe. It is just the consistency. And let's talk about the different blue milk because I did post a reel about this recently about the consistencies of blue milk. So the milk stand blue milk is elite. It is a slushier consistency. It's the best you're going to get on property. And that's the same. It's the same on both coasts. What you get at Oga's and what you get on Star Cruiser, because they do not have capabilities to serve frozen drinks. They don't have the machines on site at either of those locations. So they serve it chilled. So it's just liquid. It's thicker,
Yeah.
but it's liquid. So it's not as good. I mean, I don't mind like a chilled blue milk when I'm on Star Cruiser because I'll take blue, like to be on Star Cruiser and drink blue milk. I'll drink green milk even because I'm on Star Cruiser. But yeah, it's not my favorite. But we did get to try the Tenu Swirl blue milk when we were at Disney.
Oh yeah. It's good, but it's sugary.
It's
And I felt like I had sugars
hurt
like
my tummy.
like I had all the I had a sugar high like that in forever. So
Yeah. So you have to, the swirl, it's like I forget what it is. I think it's like a raspberry jelly or something that's like swirled on the side, kind of
Like
like
a
a
syrup,
frappuccino.
though.
Yeah, like a syrup. And then it has nerds in it. But if you're just drinking it like regular, you just taste blue milk.
Yeah.
So you have to mix it up. And when you mix it up, it turns like this like purplish gray
Which is
color,
cool.
Which is cool. And it tastes good. It's just really sweet.
yeah.
And it like truly like I had a tummy ache. I had to like my emergency Tums. I had to pop them because I was like, oh, I'm not. It was also very hot. I think maybe that was the problem too. It was like it was very hot out, so to have something like
Some milk.
sweet, I was like,
Or I
"Oh."
think of Ron Burgundy. Milk was a bad choice.
that's what it felt like. You guys just need a slushy machine. Problem solved. We had that discussion recently.
Yeah. I was asking Sarah, I was like, should we? Because there's other slushy, little margaritas every once in a while if we wanted.
I think you were like, is there a difference between a slushy machine and a margarita machine? And that would like kickstart the whole conversation. We're like, I mean, I wouldn't mind.
That's an investment.
It's an investment. It's a business expense. We're gonna test the blue milk. One of the roomies on Star Cruiser filled our room's water bottle with blue milk for our room. Oh man, that's a lot.
Butterbeer is good too. The frozen one.
Did you have the frozen one or you had the chilled one?
I
think
it was a frozen
chilled.
one.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was frozen.
It's good. Yeah, I had one glass. As soon as we got on board, I had one glass of blue milk. That was the very first thing I consumed. And then that was it. I was like, I'm done with blue milk.
Shelby, I am feeling like great.
Wait, about what? Oh,
About
how's
the
the
drop.
drop treating you? Yeah, so Shelby was on our cruise. So we can jump into Star Cruiser
Yeah,
first and
just
then
go.
work backwards from there. I don't get the drop anymore.
I didn't get the drop this time, and like there was a moment of like I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready, but it was so like it was just wonderful. It was nice to just like see old friends and have a good time and just to be able to absorb it.
Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about our dang it. I already feel the tears coming. I said I'm not in a drop, but we booked this one back when the Disney Visa discounts were released in April. So like a month before, well, even before we went on the May 3rd voyage.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think each time made it, we didn't have a drop because we always knew that there was another one.
Yeah.
And so before we even went on the May 3rd one, we had booked this one. We knew we were going with friends. We knew we weren't going to have to pay as much, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we always had this one to look forward to. And we do have one more at the end of September with a bunch of friends. But we thought this was the buffer one, right? Like, we know we have one more left, so we don't have to be super sad. We don't have to say our final goodbyes. But then when you get there, especially for me, that like I love all of the crew members there and I know a lot of them. Like,
I think that's when I was more emotional. I was, my eyes were sweating more because the part of it was, again, there was cast and crew that would speak to me and have deeper moments, and that's when it was that's when it hit me, right?
Yeah.
It was hitting me, and I was like, are they saying goodbye right now because we may not see them later?
Yeah.
And that was like you kind of feel like, is this going to be the last time that I get to, you know, to see this person?
That's
and
what was
so
hard.
that was where it was more like difficult.
And we got hit with it instantly upon arrival.
Yeah.
Because and the name escapes me, whoever like first greeted us, but they were like, welcome back. And it was just like we know these people. Yeah. And then when we were waiting in line, one of the crew members came up and just shared, I don't want to go into details of what he said, but just shared some really, really kind things that I really needed to hear, but it was just like instant. I was like, I'm not even in the building yet. You're making me cry. Yeah. And I think it just, not that it set the tone, but it just like, there was this weight on the cruise of like, we're having to say goodbye to, it's not even Star Cruiser. Like, we love Star Cruiser. We love the experience and the stories, but we're having to say goodbye to this place where we can go and see all of these people that we really love.
And I think that was the thing with this trip. Like, I did story, right? I did, you know, participated in my line and had a great time with that. But it was, again, with the cast and crew that I was more like hanging out with, right?
Yeah. And the passengers too.
Yeah. And I mean, we just, you know,
made lots of new friends over crate reactors.
Shutting down Sublight. But I think that was the thing, is like being able to, you know, like, and a little, you know, nod to Heroes of the Halcyon, like their muster meetup. Right before we went, they opened up the second, you know, the big room sold out. Amazing. And it's like, these are the people that
instantly.
These are the people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is we're just love this thing, and we're, you know, there to have a great time, and it's just I don't even know how to explain it, but that is what this built. That's what this is. And but yeah, that was, you know, the best part of the trip, is just being able to, you know, talk to the crew and just, you know, enjoy like the time that we have.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, that's it. It's the community. That's what it is. It everyone there.
We looked for space cats. We looked.
We did. We went out the first night after shutting down the Sublight Lounge, which I think it shut down at midnight, maybe. We were the last ones out. They didn't.
But we heard.
Oh.
There was loath wolves.
Yeah, or there's a loath coyote.
Loath coyote
that may have eradicated the space cats.
It's a circle of life over there.
We did see the
and we saw a picture of the coyote. So
it was a very nice looking coyote, very well kept coyote, well fed one too.
Yeah. I mean, Heroes, like they're putting on that they sold out, so it's not really you know, not trying to sell any tickets, and if you got it, you know, congrats to you, because it's gonna be.
It's the hot ticket.
Yeah, it's the hot ticket.
Yeah, we didn't have Space Cat Whisperer Gaia with us. No, we did not. And we went and looked. And funny enough, I think they told us on the way out, the security people, because there's just like, there was 2 security people out there working, or just like.
I think they knew. They were like, there's not nothing out there.
Yeah, but they must. I think they told us like, don't go past this point, and I just like beelined.
Well, because you were on the phone, right?
I was doing.
Oh,
Instagram
you were live. You were live, yeah.
I was live, and we went to look, and I think Dano said, "No, it's past. It's across the street from the terminal." So I walked past there, and I was the only one over there, and I'm like looking for space cats, couldn't find anything, and then somebody in there, it's up on our Instagram. Somebody in there was like, "There's actually a space coyote now," and this one was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back," but because I walked across the street, I had to go back through security to get back in, which I thought was interesting. I guess because I was like behind the bushes, so there could have been nefarious things happening over there. But I appreciate that we're keeping us safe. But yeah, the Sublight Lounge the first night closed at, I think,
1.
midnight. Was it?
No,
1?
I think it was 1. Yeah.
I thought the second night it was open till 1 also. Maybe it was 1 both nights. But it was cool. We'd never actually left the ship before to go back to Earth on a voyage.
It's interesting just to see like the building, but then again, it's not like, it doesn't feel like your story. Like it's just really to see the building.
Yeah.
Because like they're really cool, like that. What we were talking about is they really should have had the drop off past that point, because you could really, like when you walk up, it's more of like a reveal instead of like carport.
Yeah. But we were able to get a few nighttime pictures outside of Star Cruiser, and then we took pictures by the logo inside. So that was nice too.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was real quiet. Like we truly shut down the Sublight Lounge. Like when we came back up, they just had this like,
Had a wall and when we were cleaning and stuff.
they had like a little like walled, like a room divider set up so that we couldn't walk back in there. And it sounded like they were having a great time in there too. And we were like, I want to go. Dano said, you went too far. It's right at Loden, across the street. You drive in on. That's where I was. So there's like.
Well, no, I mean, you could just see it, right? Dano, it's like you could see where they're at. You don't have to go like far out.
Yeah.
But it was pretty bare out there.
Yeah. So no loth cats. Oh well. Yeah, the voyage was great. It was we went down the scoundrel path this time. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like we were always
no, I mean I think I went full.
I mean, we went down it. We went and we did all of the scenes and the events for it, but we weren't like in it.
Yeah.
Because I think what happened was the person we had playing Wraith is just like really, really good at it and very charismatic.
Yeah.
And so I think more people just kept hopping in on it.
So it was a big group.
Yes. Rumor is that it was like triple the size of what it's supposed to be. And so we just were like, we'll just hang out back here and we'll just like try to listen to what's going on. Do they throw people out of the Sublight or do they just wait until everyone leaves? It was I
think they have like last call. Well,
they did last call on food, and then they did last call on alcohol, and they told us, they were like, it's not like it's a gentle last call, but we will have to shut down soon. Yeah. So they were nice about it. So yes, they do kick you out, but nicely. Oh yeah. They did turn on the regular, like the music.
Oh
stopped.
yeah, there was the lights like went on.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they kick you out. But yeah, that was nice. And I mean, we did bring the stroller with us this time, which was one of the things that we talked about.
But I think as opposed to the last time, we would only
the first time when we had
we didn't pull the stroller around all the time. Mm-mm. Like our daughter walked around a majority of the time until it was like we could tell that she was getting tired. So then we brought it out and she pretty much would sleep, or like she fell asleep like in our arms, and so we just would go get the stroller. So
yeah. So I mean, I think we pulled the stroller out each night at like 11 o'clock at night or something, because space is a different time zone apparently for our kids. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great voyage. It was just, I feel like I spent more of my time just talking to the crew members and fellow passengers than I did even getting involved in the story, because there were some story elements where it was like, we were all sitting in the Sublight Lounge, and there was somebody in there that I was talking to that wasn't cast or crew, just a friend that was on board. And everybody got up because there was a thing to do in the atrium. There was an event. And I was like, I'm good. I'll just sit here. And I stayed there for like another 30 minutes just hanging out.
Yeah, no, I was same thing. It was more, hanging out with crew and getting through my story. So I think I didn't go so spread out. It was like I just did the scoundrel path.
Yeah.
So I didn't do a lot of like the extra stuff.
And we did the Saja path too.
Yeah, well, because you ended up getting on it.
Yeah.
So
I got in on that one, but that was it. I mean, we didn't really do Resistance. We didn't do First Order, but all of the cast that we had were just like they're all so good.
Yeah,
everybody's so good, and it was cool too.
But it was like right after that one. So my big proud moment was I made my jackets and I got, some compliments like, oh, that's a really nice jacket. Where did you get it type of thing? And, I was all proud, like, I actually made it. But it was like after this one, I was like, I need to make some jackets for the next one or figure out like what I'm like. That was what my first thought. Like as soon as we got off, I was like, what am I going to wear for next one?
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to think of like what to do.
So here's the other piece of it is it's been a very, very busy summer for us. We had Mosh Isley 3 weeks ago, and then it was 3 weeks ago, and then we had this voyage, but things have been so busy that it's like, what's the next thing? Let's prepare for that. And then once that's over, what's the next thing? And then we got sick. And so that killed like a week of our time. So we had about 2 weeks to plan for this voyage. And I was like, I'm just going to have to reuse the stuff that I have. And then you come through and you whip out a reversible vest for me in a day. We were joking that you were on Project Runway because I would walk by and be like, make it work.
Yeah, I would like that kind of week before. I was cranking out the
some jackets
the vest
for your
and
space,
jackets,
brother.
So, send your sizes, Dano.
We won't do anything with them, but we'll know your sizes.
And then on my jacket, and it was a very subtle, like, I love like that Disney bound, just that idea of having it like mixed. And again, it happened by accident because my jacket, the red jacket that I had, was, I went to my main source, right? I went to Jedi Survivor. Cal Kestis. Go start scrolling through customization, and here's like this jacket. So, get the front, get the back. Okay, there I go. But while I was picking that red, I realized that I had some red pants just in the closet.
Yeah.
And when I just started putting the pieces together, it ended up being pretty much like a scoundrel Mickey bound, which I was like, oh, I loved it. Like, again, I just loved it.
Yeah, which you've done a Jedi Mickey before. And
so it was just cool because I was able to do a scoundrel one. But then with my idea, so whenever I go, I always think of like, okay, day one, then I have a Batu, which is like the more like your lightweight, and then a day two evening.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I want a vest for Batu because it's an easy, like, you could just wear a shirt and then the vest over it, and it's Star Wars. And I was kind of like racking my brain, and then I was kind of like seeing all my jackets that I had, and I was like, okay, what color do I need? I need blue. And somewhere in my head, it popped in that I wanted to look like Vegeta.
So stupid.
And so I don't think we've posted it like that one, like the full thing.
No. I don't think we have.
We'll post it just so you could see it. But I I found as Vegeta.
From Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
If you don't know Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
But I did the blue jacket under, and then the vest. It was like had the gold shoulders, the white. It was whitish. It was like
It was
a light
gray.
gray.
It was like
And then it had had all the colors there, but it was
ridiculous.
it was just funny because I remember I was at Joann's, and I was like, Sarah, I have an idea, and yeah, it came together. So
Joann's the fabric store,
Fabric.
not just some random
Some
lady's house. But yeah, you did a great job with that. With you did 2 jackets, your vest, and my reversible vest in a week.
yeah,
Like
I
it
was
was a lot.
cranking them
You
out.
cranked them out. Dano says he needs a purple jacket to go with his purple pants. There you go, matching top and bottom. That's not where Joanne lives. They're like portals. Each of the stores a portal. She can bounce between them.
yeah.
The ghost of Joanne. But yeah, so that was. I mean, we didn't have a lot of prep time for this one. You cranked it out, but all of the shirts that you had made for the May 3rd voyage, you used for this one. We used pants that we already had. We used belts that we already had, boots,
Which is
all the
is really
accessories.
is really cool if you like start building like this wardrobe.
Yeah.
Which is like what we were wanting to do, but just like having these different belts, these different boots and pants, and then you could just like mix and match.
Yeah.
You just start picking stuff. So
Yeah, no, it was really nice. Here's the house scene. These are my friends, Joanne and Michael. And Slobby Bobby. No one else. Now I have to explain what Slobby Bobby is.
it's our niece
Yeah, our niece
couldn't
say
say
Hobby Lobby, and so she called it Slobby Bobbies. But Dano and I have love-hate relationships with Hobby Lobby, and like we learned about it, and then he started calling it Slobby Bobby too. We're like, oh, I'm visiting your friend Bob, and we'd send pictures in Hobby Lobby. But yeah, so the prep for this one was tight. I remember for our son, he had wanted to wear his Mando costume, but we made that Mando costume for him like 2 years ago. And so his flight suit is a little short.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was barely fitting. And then some of the armor had cracked and stuff too. And just like, we didn't build it for long-term wear either. But then he ended up just reverting. He wanted to just wear the captain's jacket, which he wears. It's pretty much all he's worn on Star Cruiser. And then last time we were on, we bought him a Sammy. He ended up he wore the captain's jacket
maybe for a little while.
in to Star Cruiser, and then I immediately took it off when we got to the room. And so we just dressed him in like basics, like black shirt and basic pants, or like grays, like just neutral colors. And then that was it. Our daughter was baby Wani last year when she went last. Like,
And she is a very independent little one. And she said, no, I don't want to be Wani.
nope.
I want to be Princess Leia.
And
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
And so that's what she was.
That's what she was. We didn't have Darth Vader. I wasn't going to go by. And here was the thing, is she kept like vacillating between like, I want to be Princess Leia, I want to be Darth Vader. So it's like, I don't know if she's actually going to want to be like
Either one.
either one of them. So let me have like 2 outfits ready to go for either one. But we already had a Kylo Ren costume from our son when he was her age. And so I just grabbed like the belt from that, which like disintegrated on
You know
the
what? We
ship.
could take that the piece and then remake the whole thing.
That's a good. We threw it away.
Did we?
I don't think it came home with
Okay.
us.
Well,
Oh.
we'll figure out.
Figure it out. I know somebody that 3D prints things. But anyway, so we ended up just getting her like 2 white dresses, and we had a Princess Leia belt, and then 2 black dresses, which we already had all that in the closet. So that one was easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no baby Wani,
Yeah.
which made me really sad.
Maybe next time.
And yeah, that was it. It was pretty easy. It was pretty simple, costume wise. But yeah, it was a good voyage. But I was so angry.
Why? What happened?
I just going back to our first conversations on there. Look, and Kyle's in here. Kyle is on the Halcyon right now. We got to see him very briefly. He's a client of mine, but we got to see him very briefly in the parks the day we flew home. He was the one wearing the sick Roosevelt shirt in front of Tower of Terror. It just makes me angry that it's closing. Like, that's what hurt this time, was that we got to see so many of these. It's impacting so many people. Like,
but I think the great thing is it like the worry that I kind of had was it was going to be a different experience to like, that love wasn't going to keep going, and it's still going.
That's why I'm angry, is because like
they're still giving it all
hearts into this, and they're continuing to do so, and the fact that so many people are not going to have. I hope everybody has a new job and a new place to go after this, but I think it's still a lot of it is up in the air. But just the fact that it's going to end, and these people that have poured their hearts into this for the last 18 months, it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me the most, is that it's impacting so many people that work there, both on stage and off stage. I'm sad for us. I'm sad for the community and everybody that got to experience it or wanted to experience it, because there was this thing that we loved that we're not going to experience anymore. But like, far beyond like my sadness for it is just like anger for the people that don't have a place to call home, like for their jobs anymore, because they love it.
Yeah,
truly, they're incredible. Like every single one of them is incredible. But like, when we were doing bridge training, Vanessa, that led our bridge training, the crew member, she was like, I think she said this is one of my last times leading it or something like that. And I was just like, and so I went and made sure to like take pictures of her and video, and I'm just like,
yeah,
everybody's having to say goodbye. It just hurts. It is. It's a huge loss, and who knows what will become of the building or any of the things, but it's a...
Hopefully, again, it's not that time yet. It's not that time yet. Right now, it's like we're still in it and getting ready for the next one. So
yeah.
I think that's where my head is, just figuring that out.
Yeah, but so we're working backwards. So we did do Star
our most
Cruiser.
Recent trip.
We did that, and then we flew in Friday evening, and so we had like a few hours in the parks Friday night, and then we had a full park day on Saturday.
It is hot. If you are visiting Florida right now, I mean, it's hot here too in Texas, but if you're like going to the parks and stuff, hydrate, because there was a lot of people that we saw getting rolled out.
A lot of stretchers at Disney World this week.
It was hot.
Yeah.
And if you're not like accustomed to that,
who is?
Yeah. Well, again, we're here. Like, we know that don't stay outside too long. Drink.
Yeah.
You know,
but when you're
relax.
When you're in Orlando, you're going to the theme parks and you're outside all the time. Like we got in line for the day we left, because we have annual passes, so we can just pop into the park. But the day we left, we went to Hollywood Studios and we were getting in line to go and watch the Frozen sing along, and they were just straight up advertising. They're like, it's the only place that's got 30 minutes of air conditioning in the park, a guaranteed 30 minutes. We're like, that's what we're here for. I've had dryer showers. Yeah, it was brutal. So we got in Friday night. We went to Hollywood Studios because we were traveling with the Sunfields. And Naomi booked was it after park closing? I guess it must have been like right before. No, it was after park. It was after park. So the park closed at 9. I
forgot about that.
Yeah, the park closed at 9. And then we had reservations for like 9:35. I don't know. It ended up working out that we all ended up being in Oga's well past closing.
Yeah.
Because we met up with some Star Cruiser friends obviously they live in Orlando that work on the ship. And then we met up with just friends that we know from Star Cruiser that are local. And then a larger group from the May 3rd voyage that happened to be in town. So there was probably 20 of us in Oga's just hanging out. So we got to see what Oga's is like when it shuts down, which Rex just like,
he goes to sleep.
He just sleeps. And then the lights turned on. We were like, oh, we got to go. Shelby says, I believe Vanessa's college program ended after our voyage. Yeah, it was her. That was her last voyage. We didn't have her before, but I just I fell in love with her. I fall in love with all of them. Can totally see them charging $20 for a shuttle ride to the Halcyon where you could do bridge training. I think they're going to charge more than $20. I think you've missed a zero on that one, Brent. Yes, Danny, they had stretchers. There was it while we were on our Batu excursion? I think it was. Somebody passed out in one of the stores in the marketplace. And
yeah, it was hot. But for my costume, I had that Batu, like
the Hatu,
like the rice hat looking one.
The Batu Hatu.
Yeah. I would highly recommend it if you could get your hands on one, because
hot commodity though.
It's
literally.
Yeah, it's in universe, so you look like you fit in, but it's like a great little umbrella for your head, for you. Like I highly recommend it.
It literally is an umbrella hat.
Yeah. It's an umbrella hat, but it's just like Star Wars looking.
And that thing, it got rumpled when we were going from...
In our luggage
going over to Orlando. And you pulled it out and it was like... "Wah." But I had to dry my hair that morning. They were getting on the ship. And so I just would...
Yeah, because it's like a plastic.
Yeah,
so
you heated right up. It was fine. And an umbrella hat would make it canon.
Yeah. It was pretty clutch, because
they don't have them right now at Batu East. I think they had them at West when we were there a few weeks ago, though.
Yeah, if you see them, I would say
buy.
I recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had ours for.
And then I'm thinking
a while now,
because we usually bring those
the cooling towels.
The cooling towels, but ours it had dried and they started to peel.
Well, they had mildewed,
yeah.
And so I washed them in the washing machine, sanitized them, and they fell apart on us on this trip.
But I was thinking I want to get earthy toned ones this next time, so then it becomes just more of maybe a cowl, or make it more in universe, but have a drying,
Well, you just
cooling
get
towel.
The chamois fabrics and make us cowls.
Yeah.
I had the idea. I wear my neck fan, but mine's it's not the one that looks like headphones. It's just it looks like a big old block. And they're they're pricier than most head fans, but they're really good fans. But it also has a clip that you can
you can
clip
put on your
onto
waist.
your pants, either in the front or the back, and then it just blows the air up your shirt, which is really good too. But it's just so anytime I wanted to take a cute picture, I'd be like, hold on, let me take my neck fan off.
Yeah. As I say, just make it all in universe.
I know. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, the neck fan, again, cooling towels, neck fans, big hats. It was all, we had it all.
Everything. I wore the minimal amount of clothing I was comfortable wearing for our Batu excursion, because we didn't want to be out very long. But it was going to be hot. We had Lothcat lightsaber training for our daughter that morning at 9, so we knew we weren't getting on planet until 9:30 at the earliest, and so we're it's already going to start heating up by then. It's never cooling down now in the month of August. Bucket of ice just in case. Oh man, we did pour ice water down our backs every once in a while. You were like, hey Sarah, look over there. You just
and it would give you a nice shock, but it felt good.
It felt real good. But yeah, it was brutal. And I think we only ended up spending 2.5 hours on it.
I need that Kunu Flex. I need that Roosevelt's material just to make my shirts.
Seriously though, those are the cool,
those
truly, I wore denim shorts and stuff on this trip because I don't have that many Roosevelt's tuxes, and so it's like I don't want to look like I'm wearing the same thing every time. So I wore, different shirts and denim shorts. I was just like, man, I miss my Kunu flex.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Like the days that we were doing the parks.
Yeah,
that's what that was my uniform, and it was great because it was just light and just being able to move around and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, so we did. The night we got there, we did Hollywood Studios. We shut down Oga's. That's when we tried the new blue milk, which gave me a tummy ache. And then Saturday we did Epcot.
And Tron. We shut down the park.
We shut down the park again. We did Epcot in the morning, and then we went back to the hotel to take a midday break because it was just like, it was brutally hot. And then we did the scavenger hunt like we normally do, but we went back, and as we were about to leave, our friend Brooke McDonald, who was on the voyage with us, and her family, they got to the park. And so they went and hung out with the Sunfields while we just chilled in the AC, literally chilled in the AC for a couple hours. And then we're like, okay, we'll meet you at Magic Kingdom. And then, we went to Magic Kingdom. You guys went and rode the roller coasters.
Yeah, we started moving around over there, Haunted Mansion. I think we rode all the mountains, or what's left of them.
Tron. We can count Tron as a mountain now.
And then, we ended up getting a lightning lane for Tron, which was fun.
Yep. And we watched the fireworks. So it was our kids' first time seeing the fireworks since Happily Ever After was back, which is, it's only been back for 4 months.
Yeah.
Our daughter fell asleep halfway through them.
Yeah.
And they're loud. We had a great spot. They're really, really loud fireworks. And I know we don't take them to go see the fireworks because she thinks the fireworks are too loud.
Yeah.
And so she was
saying that.
She was okay for the first couple of minutes, and then she was like, it's too loud. And so I'm like, I have her face against my face, and I'm holding her ears to block it. I don't know if I did a really good job or what, but then she just laid her head on my shoulder.
And you could feel the weight.
And it's just she got 10 times heavier. And I'm like, oh, we still have 10 more minutes. But yeah, it was I love those fireworks so much. So it was good.
Yeah. Happily Ever After is that's the fireworks show for me.
That is it. Galen hasn't ridden Tron, Slinky Dog, or Guardians yet.
Oh man, Galen.
Guardians and Tron are the ones where it's at. If you're gonna do Tron, when you go back to Disney World the next time, book an individual lightning. This is my pro tip. Book the individual lightning lane, pay for it. Do it late at night. So we had the park closed at 10. Yeah, the park closed at 10. And so the latest we could get Tron was at 8:55 or 9 o'clock or something because your window's good for an hour. And then the fireworks started at 9. So we watched the fireworks and then went to go ride Tron. But because we had our daughter with us who's too small to ride it, we had to do rider swap between us and the Sunfields. So the boys got to ride twice. But we were, you, me, and the boys, because we went second, we were on Tron
pretty much
at after 10. We were the last people on Tron for the night. I think there may have been one more after us, but we had the entire train to ourselves.
That was cool.
It was really cool.
Paul, Tower of Terror is my favorite.
You don't need to lie here, Paul. You can be honest. Tron is great. Guardians is amazing. Guardians was really fun to ride this time because, not giving away spoilers because Dano didn't get to experience this, but when we went with Dano in May, one of the pre-show rooms was in B mode.
I know.
And it's
that was
kind of the best part of the ride is the pre-show room. And so it's fixed again, thankfully. But yeah, I felt so bad. As soon as the doors opened up and I saw the room, I was like,
what's going on?
What's going on? But this time I was like, oh man, Dano's missing it. And then we tried to test out the theory about the symbols on the cars.
Well, that was something I had heard or I had seen.
It was a TikTok, I think.
Yeah, but
pretty big.
According to, again, I don't remember where it was. There's symbols on some of the cars, and that would tell you what song you're getting. But I think it was almost immediately.
I think they changed it maybe, because we both got conga, and we had 2 different symbols on our cars. Yeah. So who knows? Galen says, where is the best place to ride Tron and not get sick? I've only ridden
in the front
row. This time I was row 2 because we put the boys in front of us. I've never gotten sick on Tron. Guardians, this time I usually will request like row 9 or even 10 if there's like more than 2 of us going. And that seems to help. One, it's a different ride when you ride in the very back, but also for me, the further back you are in a train or in a ride, the less sick I get.
Yeah.
And this time I think we were row 4. And Naomi and I did it together, and I got queasy.
And I think we've done the front too, and that it doesn't, because that's kind of like the like you're the beginning, you know, the front of it. So I don't know. I haven't gotten sick on either one. So
yeah,
but maybe I'm not a good gauge for that.
Yeah. Danny saying, do you have any favorite food and wine booths? We didn't do any food and wine this time,
Nope.
did we?
Nope.
What did
I was wanting to do the pickle milkshake.
Oh, yeah. We didn't do it.
But it was hot.
It was real hot.
And it was one of those, like, we were going back, I think, back to the hotel. And it was like, oh, yeah, you want to go get the pickle milkshake? And you kind of, like, look over. And I'm like, nah. Like, we're in the middle, like, in the, where it's the split, right? The front. Mm-hmm. And I could have easily gone to Creations. It's not that far. But I was like, nah, it's too far.
Yeah, you're like, not anymore. Yeah. We made the mistake. We were hanging with our friend Ben the day that we left, and we were in Hollywood Studios, and it was just so hot. And we were like, well, what do we do? And we were going to go watch the indie show because it's like kind of shaded. And then it was standing room only, and there was just a bunch of us. And we're like, we won't do that. And so we would hang out with Ben a few days before, and there's this new like Little Mermaid milkshake. And I was like, ugh. He's like, let's go get the Little Mermaid milkshake.
That one beat us. It's good, but it was
really good.
But it was a like milk in the hot sun is not my gig.
No. But the interesting thing was, I think it was like a soft serve milkshake almost. Like it was very light. Like the cup itself was very light, except they put like a huge cake pop thing in it too. But it wasn't terrible, but it was not the vibes. But yeah, so we did that instead. And it was just like, we were roasting. It was melting. We were melting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the shaved ice in Japan, which is just like normal. That's not a food booth.
But that's really nice. Like,
oh, it was so good. It was the funniest thing. So the Sunfields hadn't eaten breakfast when we got to Epcot, and so they were getting crepes in France, and we had gotten the scavenger hunt for our daughter because she asked to do it. And so you're like, I'm gonna go look around France, and then you just like took off and y'all went.
Well, no, because our daughter
didn't walk back by us.
No, because our daughter was like, come on, Dad, let's go look for the next one. And she was like, looking for the next
stroller.
Yeah, she was looking for the next one, walking, looking for the next one. I'm like, okay, we found that one. Do you want to go back? She's like, no, I want to find the next one. So we keep going. And there was a point where we just kind of didn't, like, you had passed us somehow. And then, because I think you were at the American Pavilion and we were at Japan. And so we were going, and I'm like, oh, look, snow cones. And she's like, yeah, let's get snow cones. And she just gets in line. And so she was just having her day.
But it was so funny. I forget what outfit she was wearing, like some kind of dress or whatever. But she has these like 1950s like cat eye. They have Grogu on them, but they're like pink, sparkly like cat eye sunglasses. And then she stole your hat too at some point. And so she just like comes like just walking up, and she's got her massive snow cone that's as big as her head with the hat and the sunglasses and her little Crocs, and she just like sachets up to us where we were sitting at the American Pavilion. Just like, you're in such a mood.
Yeah, so.
Because we had been sitting there waiting for you for just a couple of minutes, and then I think our son was like, what was taking so long? And then he sees that she had a snow cone. He's like, I want a snow cone. And then all of us were like, we want snow cones.
It was a perfect time for it.
It helped big time, because then you could walk through and like have ice just on hand. That was wonderful. Well, they said Ahsoka is going to Batu West next Wednesday. How is the makeup gonna work? Like, how are they gonna do that? Oh, they just announced it.
Dang, 11 minutes ago.
Dang, that's late. Well, I guess it's the
10.
premiere tonight.
No, is it?
I think so. Or there was a fan event. Justin earlier was saying he got to see the first 2 episodes.
Allegedly. Look, can't be looking on a phone.
The premiere's going on right now.
Here, you look, or
there
they look at you.
Oh, and then you can look at your phone. You're just gonna don't open TikToks. Don't start scrolling. Oh, it's a fan event, not a premiere. That's what it is.
Okay.
Hands have gloves on them. Orange makeup. I'm curious. Would that ever happen in Batu East? Because like, we were in Batu West a few weeks ago. It was hot there too.
Yeah.
I think we were also just like overly tired, but it was very hot.
Yeah, it was hot too.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm curious. I'll probably get it 6 months later.
I'd say even more.
Send a pic to our Instagram. Thank you for that. Yeah, we'll have to go look at it after this. Breaking news. That's exciting.
TJ, makeup melted off at San Diego.
TJ looked amazing.
Yeah.
As Ventress at San Diego Comic-Con though. But yeah, so that was our weekend. Justin Sunfield woke up the morning of Star Cruiser and was like, I'm going to go buy a lightsaber in Galaxy's Edge. And asked if we wanted to go. I was like, absolutely not. It's going to take me forever to get ready. And then I had some work and stuff I needed to knock out that morning. I was like, let me get any final payments or anything I needed to get done that morning before, so I could just enjoy. But yeah, he did it. I was like, I don't even want to get anywhere close to like sweating before I get ready, because we just spent all weekend just like sweaty and hot and gross.
It was nice. Like being on the ship, it was just cool.
That's the other thing, is like, it's the one place you could go in the summer and like an experience and just be inside for the majority of it, which was nice. We spent so little time in the climate simulator.
Yeah, I went in there a couple times, catch my breath, and
nope.
Went back out. Or back in.
I thought that was interesting too. So we actually did a ship tour this time, which we had never done before. Yeah. And they take you out to the climate simulator, and it was just like, you know, they say it down to the degree that it replicates whatever planet we're gonna be going to, which would be Batu. But it really felt like our tour guide was framing it in a way that was like, if you ever need a break, if you ever just need to like take a step back and just like ground yourself, or just, you know, get away from the chaos that's happening on the ship, like the climate simulator is where you can come and like collect yourself, which I thought was a really interesting way to talk about it. But yeah, that was the voyage. And then our last episode, so backing up all the way now, our last episode was about Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
We had been so excited to go there for the whole year since they'd first announced it, and we'd seen all of our friends going. And so we did this kind of vlog, kind of not. Like, we couldn't really like truly vlog it because just the sound quality was
yeah, I got to figure that out, but.
And we were going to try to do it for this trip, to do some more vlogging. We tried. We did some, but it wasn't great.
No, I think because the thing was, so on the trip, we were doing the Togethers 5K.
Yep.
And we thought, oh, how cool would it be if we did it where we're on the ship and then we go on to Batu, you know, do our 5K. I was like, obviously we could do that 5K. And there's a lot to do, but it's very, very, like, it's a lot tighter than you think it is until you start like walking in.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, we're not
going to we did not complete the 5K on Batu. So we recorded some of it, but again, it was like on an iPhone. We don't have a separate mic or anything like that, so I don't even know if any of it is usable. But we tried. So I think as long as we keep trying, then we'll improve at some point.
Yeah, the Epic Universe is going to be big.
Somebody was telling me it opens at the end of 2024. So we're just a little over a year away from it being open.
They're moving on it.
And I think when that happens, we'll probably end up at Universal more and more, especially because our son really seems to be into like roller coasters.
Yeah, he really got into roller coasters this last trip.
Because he's done Big Thunder before, but he had never done Space Mountain, and he was like really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it sounds like. I didn't ride it. I wasn't there. I was riding Teacups with our daughter. Yeah, so I got to do Small World. She really wanted to do. She calls it Tiny World. And then I did the Teacups, and I think that was all we did. Oh my gosh, it was so funny though. So I think we did Buzz Lightyear also before we went and got a spot for the fireworks that night because we had Genie Plus, and so we were using it. I'm gonna sneeze at some point during the story, but we go get, you and the boys go ride Space Mountain. Naomi and our daughter and we go get a spot for fireworks. And we got a spot like maybe 30, 40 minutes beforehand. Really, really good spot. Pretty dead on. Like no obstructions of trees or anything like that. But we're standing there waiting, and our daughter had really wanted to ride Tomorrowland Speedway. And so we grabbed a Genie Plus for it, and we're like, okay, as soon as the fireworks are over, because we'd have to do rider swap anyway, whoever is doing Tron first, like we'll go ride Tomorrowland Speedway with our daughter, and that way she gets to do it. She fell asleep during fireworks as she was out for the night. So, you know, she's done, she falls asleep. I'm holding her like she's this tiny little baby. She's like, like this. But as soon as the fireworks were over, I held her, remember? Because it was such a mad rush that you literally folded up the stroller and you're like, let's just get out of this crowd. Because we were so central that there was just a ton of people anyway. So we go and we ride Tron. And she's asleep. She sleeps all through the bus ride home where I had to like pick her back up. She sleeps the entire night. And the first thing she does when she wakes up the next morning is like, I wanted to ride the car ride. She was so mad. And then the same thing happened the next night on Star Cruiser. She fell asleep in her stroller at Sublight Lounge. This was before our Space Cats adventure and everything. And she wakes up in the bunk. she goes, wait. How did I get here? It was I don't know why it was super funny to me. But yeah, so Super Nintendo World. So we talk about it in our video, but then in that episode, we talked about meeting Toad and how I was like, just after realizing that I was just like fawning over this character performer's crotch because it's right where Toad's face is. I had posted the video of us meeting Toad, but it's me like on my knees being like, oh my God, you're the cutest thing ever. And then I posted it as a reel. It's our best performing reel now. It's got like over 1 million views. And like, we don't get a lot of like.
It's the power of Toad.
We don't get a lot of like big viral videos or anything like that. But this one goes viral. And then of course it's just the comments. Like some people are like, oh no, like people getting it. And then there's other people that are like, Disney adults, or you're a grown woman, why are you getting so excited over a Toad,
costume person,
your costume character? And I'm like, well, and so there were people in there that were like, I'm friends with Toad, we're used to it, it makes us happy to see guests so happy, and like, rest assured there's lots of padding, like nobody feels anything, like it's okay. And then there's other people coming out of the woodworks that was like, I'm the Geico Gecko. It's just like, it's super funny whenever something we do online does end up like getting a lot more views than normal, because like we post something and it's just people that follow us and like know that we're just kind of our level of weird. But some of the things go viral, and it's just like complete strangers seeing like these weird things that we're posting, and it's just like some of the things people say are like, all right, I guess. So yeah.
But yeah, no, it was super fun to go to Super Nintendo World. I definitely enjoyed it. I think it's one of those hard things that we were able to do it in a fairly short amount of time, but I really think you could be there the whole day. Like you could be there a lot longer.
I think the only problem with being there the full day though is like it got so busy within like the first 2 hours to the point where it was like it got overwhelming.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree that you would get so much, like the amount of time to get things done would be even more drawn out. Because like at the beginning, you're able to knock a whole bunch of stuff out. Yeah. It was later in the day that it was like it was starting to take a lot longer to get through things.
Yeah. So. But I mean, even then, if you're just like sitting there enjoying like the ambiance and the music and everything like that, I guess it's not too terrible. But yeah, we'll see. We're going back in November. We're going to, God, we spend so much time at Disneyland now.
Huh? Oh, we've been over there a lot.
This whole East versus West thing, like I think we're tipping. But we're going to be over there for Life Day in November. So there's this huge thing that, Dano, what's his name? If you're still in here, I think it's Obi Sean. This guy has basically started to commemorate Life Day at Disneyland. And he takes the tunes of Christmas carols and like puts like Life Day and like Star Wars lyrics to them. And so they'll do caroling, and then everybody wears the red robes, or you have the orbs, and you do all these things. Anyway, there's like a whole day's worth. Okay, it is Obi Sean. A whole day's worth of events, or evenings worth. And so we're trying to keep the Star Cruiser community together. And so we're like, well, let's go do these other things that are like holidays within the Star Wars universe, or in the Star Wars world. So organizing people to go out over there. So we're going to be there in Disneyland for Life Day. And so we're going to take out one of the days to go take our kids to Super Nintendo World, which will be fun.
Yeah.
Because our daughter is obsessed with the Super Mario Brothers movie. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. Let's see. How much sleep were you actually able to get on your Whirlwind California Moss trip? Not a lot.
Nah, not a lot.
I think, I can't think that far back, but it was definitely not much.
Yeah, the days after is usually the recovery, and that's when we got sick too. So it was like a full week of recovery.
Well, the first day or the day after we got back, I think I slept like the entire day. You know, Lando. Is that literally one of the songs? Because if so, that's great. I'm excited to participate in Life Day. So we've got that. And then we've got the cruise. It's an actual real life ocean cruise coming up that I've been booking people on that. So I need to start posting about it more, because Brooke, our friend Brooke, she was like, you just need to give me a stack of your business cards so that I can promote this cruise for you. She's like, because I am recruiting everybody. And I'm like, you're doing a better job than I am of it. She was like, I even have my kids telling people about it, because it's just fun to be around like-minded people like that. Yeah. And so that's what we're trying to do with these events, like going to Life Day together. Like that's already a pre-established thing. And so it's nice. We don't have to worry about like planning any kind of programming or anything. And with the cruise, it's a cruise. Like all the programming is pretty much done. It's just like, hey, let's go meet up and play Sabacc, or let's all wear our smuggler costumes or something. Easier things. But yeah, just hanging out and having a good time. Because I think bringing it back to talking about Star Cruiser, like that's just the thing I enjoy most, is just talking to people.
I mean, it definitely was the best thing out of Star Cruiser was just like the community building. Just the groups and the like Discord groups and stuff like that. Like it's just so cool, and people being positive. Yeah. you know, I think that's been the best part of all of it. So
Dano cruising, baby. Droidal. That is amazing.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think we've caught up on everything. You know, we've got Ahsoka coming out.
So it's next week.
Yeah.
Now is like the crunch time, so it's like back to school time and just
Life. So again, that's why I was like, I need to start planning my costume to get that done. And then doing this stuff doesn't help distract, you know, the distraction factor.
It's like the I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or it's just like just how people work in general, but I'm kind of like, if I have a messy office space, I can't focus and actually do the work I need to do. So I need to like clean my office first, and then once there's no like visual clutter, then I can focus on my work.
And me, I'm the trash man.
You cannot see the piles of things that are just off camera. I was like,
I'm the trash man.
I'm the trash man.
I throw
like,
trash at him.
Right, because we've been moving things around in here. There's extra little piles of things. But yeah, I was like trying to shove everything. You're like, they can't see it. Like, I hope they can't. It's a lot.
Narkina outfits again.
TJ, I'm also the trash man. Yeah, it's we've got some organizing to do downstairs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now that we're Costco people and we buy in bulk, I'm like, well, now I gotta
find
like
to store that bulk.
If you give a mouse a cookie, I'm like, now I've got to redo the pantry and like organize the pantry again. It's been a couple years. Narkina 5 outfits again. That was fun. That was a lot of fun to do that. That's an easy one to do.
Yeah, we might be able to do that.
We need to, I think one of our next lives, we need to just like, all right, let's spitball ideas for this cruise.
Yeah.
Because like, we could come up with stuff just like you and me and Dano, but we may not come up with like the best things to do because we also have to keep it very, we can't disturb the peace on the cruise.
Yeah.
So like we have to be very careful with what we can and can't do. And kind of like what we did on the May 3rd voyage where it's like the things are going to be after hours. We don't have to do things after hours necessarily on this on the actual cruise, but we just can't intrude on anybody else's vacation,
yeah.
Especially if like they don't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have ideas, let me know. One of the things we are doing is like fish extenders, which is where you exchange little gifts with other cabin mates. Like you do it in small groups, but some of the people that are on our cruise, like specifically for the Star Cruiser community, are organizing within our group to do those. So I'm like, oh, that's fun. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see like how much we can inject with this cruise without.
I have an idea, and I don't know if it's something that we talk about or like how to get it done, but like I have an idea. So it's one of those like it's more of like first off,
okay,
offline, and then
then we'll bring it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't like Star Wars. I know. There's a few of them out there, not many, but there's a few of them. But yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
It was a good night, good live. It's been, I can't remember the last time we went live, but I know we just like, things got a little screwy with our schedules. Was it when we talked about Mosh Isley with the boys?
I think so.
Wow. I think it was.
Right after Mosh.
Yeah. And then we did episodes back to back because we talked to Martin and Christine from Heroes. And then you and I talked about Super Nintendo World after that. And so, yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. And then slowly you'll start seeing things changing around here.
Maybe it's just like a one day rip down and tear up or whatever. But thank you, everybody.
Yes.
For showing up, hanging out. It's been great.
Make your blue milk.
It's been fun.
For Sunday. And then drink it.
Yeah.
Betty
commands where can they get the recipe from?
If you signed up for the 5K, there were two options. So there was 275 of the physical race kits, which you'll get a physical copy of the recipe card. But even if you just now go donate to the charity, then you get access to the virtual race kit, which the recipe's up there. So you can go make some blue milk. You can let me know how it is, if you approve of it. Blue Prime. No, that was garbage. I cannot tell you like how fast I raced to the grocery store when I heard that. Dano and I both were like we're sending each other pictures of like what kind of stock they had at the different stores. Get that out of here. But yes, drink your blue milk. We're doing the cheers for that on Sunday, and also participate in the Together as One 5K because it's for charity and it's for a great cause. But yeah, we will see you guys next time.